this year, and how does this affect how you look at him going into the spring?
You can't let the last game, kind of determine how you feel about somebody as you go into the offseason. I think that's the thing you have to be careful about. And obviously, we wish, he wishes, he'd be first to tell you he wishes he would have played better, and we wish we would have coached better. So I think, when you look at some of the things he did this year as a first-year starter, there were some really, really good things, and some things were not so good, and that's kind of how every first-year starter generally is. And the hard thing about this is that, with a minute 15 to go, it's a one-score game. We're one play away from winning the game. And that's the thing that'll be really, really frustrating.
There was a third down pass to Brown in the first half. It was ruled incomplete. It looked like he might have caught it and fumbled. You guys got the fumble. Did you guys think about maybe taking the timeout so they could challenge that or replay that?
Well, we don't have a TV in our booth, so we can't see it. The next year that rule changes. But we didn't. So I'm not even sure it didn't look like it was that close to us, but that was just from live and the guys in the field. So,
they scored like right after.
Yeah, so I'm not sure if we would challenge or not. If we'd seen a replay, maybe. And they weren't really showing a lot of replays on the board in the stadium, which a lot of other places you see more replays. And it helps you kind of go, hey, we got to challenge that. So we didn't have any indication that we should challenge it, but maybe we should.
How did Florida adjust? Matt was 6 of his first 7, I believe, that kind of came out of underneath there.
Well, it wasn't so much to adjust. They just started to make some plays. And they played more coverage than they had been, and they were playing a little bit more too deep in the second half than they had in the first half. And that really changed after Moy beat them deeper. The one they played a lot less aggressively in terms of man-to-man. So that was probably the biggest. And we tried to do a couple things, and we weren't able to run the ball. When you get teams to play off, you got to be able to run football. In the period in the third quarter, they did a really good job against the run. It gave us some problems. But again, it's going to be one of those things we'll be awfully frustrated about this one for a while because we had a lot of opportunities we left out there.
On the pick 6, what other play calls were in the sheet?
Not a bunch. We felt like the crossing routes gave us a chance, and I think we had the crossing the field. But the guy made a great play. He undercut it, and the guy made a play. But we probably had a shot in the field to kind of make that.
So no timeouts didn't force you to go towards the sideline?
No. Because we had 20. There was 118 or 120 to go, whatever it was. So we felt like it was plenty of time to get. We could even without timeouts, get the first down in college. They need to change. So if Moy gets that catch, and we thought the Moy gets first down, then we had plenty of time. We weren't worried about that.
I'm sorry if you answered this earlier. Were there any discussions of put Bolton or someone else in?
A little bit, but not a bunch. Matt. It was one of those things, like Joe said. Matt wasn't as bad as people think he was. He made some really good throws, and made some plays, and he missed some. So it's one of those things.
Is that what does the race look like now going in the spring?
We get back and look at film, and we'll evaluate not just this game, but the all 12 games, 13 games, and evaluate where we're at. But it's always we always get competition. When we come out in the spring, it's going to be competition, and we're going to get after it, and we're going to compete with each other.
Is that just what you get with Matt, or is that for any quarterback, the sort of ups and downs? He's going to make some mistakes.
Anybody's in a first-year starter,
Okay.
And really, you got to remember, Matt's this is only a 6th or 7th game starting. He's not a guy that started all 13 games for us. So yeah, you're going to get some ups and downs, and sometimes you make some mistakes and you get away with it, and they give them credit. They made the picks they had to make.
Is he careless with the football, or were they just great plays on their part?
So, I wouldn't say it was careless. They made a couple of plays. The one he threw it down the middle. The guy got his hands on it and bounced up, and the safety made the play. Otherwise, if it's a little bit higher, it was careless. He just the 2 interceptions. He was. If the ball's that much higher, it's a completion, and we're not even talking about this.
Right.
What did you say to him after the game?
So, don't let this become a downward spiral, and it's got to be something that you just continue to work. You got to shake it off, come back and work. In 2 weeks, come back. You can mope about it for a little bit, but you got to come back and get back to work for next year. So we have a lot of skilled guys and a lot of people that we can build around next year on offense. We should have a chance to be really good. So. We got to head that way.
Do you think it turned into a downward spiral at all at any point in the game? One pick turns into another, into another?
No, because even on that last drive before the interception, he made a couple of made a throw to Moy on the sideline, made a couple of plays, and we were moving the ball down the field, and there was never a lack of confidence. We looked like with 1:15 to go, it looked like we were on our way, and they made a play.
AJ, why was this a microcosm? Why so up and down this season? Why so up and down this game?
Well, I don't want to. I think part of it is we're young in some key spots, and when you have a young team that things don't go well right away for them. We go out to Alabama in week 2, and Iowa was week 4. So the confidence wasn't there early on in the year. So when you don't have confidence, sometimes you have some ups and downs. You make some mistakes. You're unsure of yourself, but and I think it's probably what it was as much as anything.
Can you count?
But I think I think hopefully we learned from some mistakes we made the last couple of weeks, and we build from there and learn from those mistakes and move on.
Coach, can I call you away for the Big Ten for a moment?
Yeah.
Big Ten Network.
Can you count on Matt's confidence coming back? I mean, he just.
Yeah, it'll be fine.
Okay.